the gruesome details are all over out there all the time, and sometimes I just want to reflect on the fact that he died. He died. He passed away brutally and not by any fault of his own. I can't leave my home without thinking about Timothy. This town is a Greyhound stop, so they stop just over the tracks at that little corner store. So I can go to check the mail, I can go to leave to go into the city, and inevitably I'm going to encounter, pass at least one Greyhound bus, either on the way there or on the way back. Through my therapy and counseling, I've trained my mind to the best of my ability to acknowledge it as Timothy checking in with me, saying, "Hi, Mom. Keep going," giving me the thumbs up and saying, "Keep going, you're doing the right thing, keep on that, keep what you're doing." I wouldn't want to be untreated and perhaps become the next Vince Lee. Although I'm not schizophrenic, but if they're going to use Vince Lee as the poster boy for schizophrenia, let it be with the message that says, don't leave your mental illness untreated and allow yourself to become the next Vince Lee. How about you put a shift on that and make it something like, pardon me, that's what it should be, rather than it's okay if you have mental illness, because regardless of what you do, we will never hold you or anybody else accountable for it. I want to know what has to happen in Canada for somebody to be held accountable for these vicious attacks, killings. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm devastated, and I seem calm because I do my falling apart off camera. I think if I'm going to be effective and clearly state my position and hopefully have people listen to me, I can't be doing it as a grieving, falling apart person in front of their eyes. I think I need to be strong and come across and speak for Timothy. What I'm doing is I am speaking for and on behalf of the dead, of all the other victims of NCR that nobody's heard about. Not just Tim. This is way bigger than just Timothy's situation at this point.
NCR being not criminally responsible.
Absolutely. NCR means not criminally responsible, and it also means no criminal record. And that is ridiculous to me, that this man will not have a criminal record for what he did to my child. He doesn't have the outside stresses of everyday life that you and I have about making your mortgage payment, paying your bills, keeping a job. Any of the everyday stressors that we all experience. How would he function then? What assurances do we have that he would take his medications? His say-so? Or the psychiatrist say-so? The crux of the problem is, at the end of the day, if he were to reoffend, who would be held accountable? Nobody. Not the mental health system that failed him in the first place. He walked away from treatment. He had been diagnosed. And he walked away from that treatment facility, and nobody from the mental health system followed up on him then, but they're all there to help him now. If they've managed through medication and intensive therapy and a controlled environment to bring Vince Lee to a place that he can live with his own mind, that's great, fine, and well for the people that are taking care of him. But leave him there, because he doesn't belong out in society with everybody else. We cannot trust him, and I don't trust the system to monitor him or do anything for him, because they failed him in the first place. That's what led to this in the first place. Me knowing what I know, having been through what I've been through, and not doing everything in my power to prevent this from happening to another family, that would be where I would have trouble forgiving myself for. Do I accept his apology? It's a moot point to me, really. It doesn't matter. His apology is not going to bring my son back. Is it going to make him feel better? I don't think I'm here to do that. I don't think it's my job to make Vince Lee feel better about what he did. I think if the medical psychiatric community can bring him to a place of understanding the devastation that he wreaked upon another family, I think that's what Vince Lee has to live with for the rest of his life. I know I have to live with it. We've got a group of legal experts and the justice system that cannot do enough for Vince Lee. They cannot do enough for that man. They are going to do everything in their power to make sure that he is well taken care of, provided for, receives the treatment. Sadly, he had to do this to get that treatment.
And nothing for you.
What have they done for me so far? What have they done for me so far? You know, we're living paycheck to paycheck because I can't hold down a job. I used to drive a school bus for a living. I don't want the responsibility of other people's children on my shoulders. Knowing what it feels like to lose a child, I don't ever want to be responsible. And that would be an accident. That wouldn't be me viciously killing them. I don't know when a bad day is going to be. I don't know what is going to trigger the overwhelming and debilitating sorrow that can overtake. How do you work at a productive job knowing that I just start to get my feet under me and get going again, and it's time for review board again?
Every year.
Every year.
On schedule.
On schedule. And this year, I thought I'd have a few years, but this year we got it the day after Mother's Day. And what I know is that there was one empty chair at my dinner table on Mother's Day.
And that was Timothy.
That was Timothy's chair.
Carol deDelley, thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.